Hello, I'm back. This time for this little screencast, I will talk to you about a forum. Since this type of activity is more geared toward secondary and middle school and perhaps even 10s and 11s, I'm going to move away from Miss Blatt's page, and I'm going to show you what I created in my page. In fact, I think I did this last year already, but that's the beauty of the Moodle page. Once you create um, an activity or even a unit, it remains there and it can be available to you at any time. So I'm going to take you to my literature and writing course page. And scroll down, you'll see that my tabs, I do my tabs by quintile. It's a little bit easier for me to manage it that way as opposed to course by course. But again, this is secondary, so in elementary, it's probably easier to manage the pages by homeroom class and different subjects. So this is just one course for me, literature and writing, and I have it organized by quintile. And I'm going to go to the emergency unit plan that I created last year. You can see it's kind of fogged over. It's, again, because I don't have it shown for the students. I have it hidden, so I can hide this entire section by clicking on that button. But let's say school was called off next week and I want to create some activities for my students to do so that they're using the time productively at home. One of the easiest units for me to do with that is a novel study, because I largely have the students read independently anyway, and I do have selective units to back that up. So I've posted the TSWs here, so the parents, the students, they can open the TSWs to see what they need to be able to do in order to master this particular unit. You can see here I created an activity like we did on Miss Blatt's page. So in this activity, if I click on it, I want them to make a map of Macomb County. Macomb is where the story takes place, and you can read my directions here. As they read, they have to take note of important locations mentioned in the book, create a map of the town, and then there's lots of details here on the worksheet that I attached. I'm asking them to take a photo of their map and upload it here. So essentially, just like we did with the frog and toad assignment on Miss Blatt's page, I have an activity similar to that in my novel study unit. Then clearly I need to have access for the students to the novel. So in this case, I've chosen a more classic novel, one that I can find online. Oops, well, these happen to be discussion questions. I know I have the novel somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, okay, here it is. The book can be accessed on this link. So essentially here I've kind of outlined the unit for them, given them background information on the book, and there's a link to the book. So I click there, I created that link. And oh, look, it's the same website, Internet Archive. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to update this link, but in most cases, that Internet Archive is really good because they have old books there. So I'll update that. Again, you saw I made this last year, so sometimes the links have to be updated. I created lots of videos for them to watch, or I didn't create them. I found lots of videos on YouTube that are related to the book. Here's an audio version of the book. Maybe some students might want to listen along. Here's a couple crash course episodes analyzing the book. And then there's the famous Gregory Peck film that they could watch after they read the book. And I can even close that, so if I don't want them to watch it first, I can close it so that they can read it later. So, here I've broken down how I want them to read the book in 4 different parts and different chapters for each part. And you can see below here, I have different activities for them to do, depending on what part of the book they are reading. So in the first part of the book, we'll focus on characterization. So they have to fill in this character chart. And then you saw up above where I had all kinds of questions related to the novel, different assignments related to those questions. And then look, I have a forum. Okay, so I'm just going to click on the forum so you can see what I created for this one. And it says simply, after reading chapters 1 to 8, participate in the forum below. You must make one original post, and then you must respond to me and at least 2 of your classmates. There are 3 different discussion strands that you must make a post. They are as follows. So see how I've kind of made clear rules for them in terms of what constitutes mastery in a forum discussion. The first rule being they have to read chapter 1 to 8. They can't be successful in this discussion if they haven't read those chapters. They have to make an original post of their own. They have to respond to anything that I write to them in their forum post. And then they also have to respond to 2 of their classmates. There's always another good rule for them that they have to be diplomatic, and you can kind of model this in your responses to students in the forum by being positive and giving them positive feedback. If they make a statement that is inaccurate, you can be very careful in your manner of telling them or correcting them in terms of the mistake that they've made. So diplomacy is important in the forums because when we write our words, they stay forever, and you want to be careful with what you write in these forums. That's important to emphasize to the students. So in this forum that I created, the first question that I have is, what message do you think is being conveyed about education in chapters 1 to 4? So if you are familiar with the story, Scout goes to school for the first time, and her first few months in school, she doesn't necessarily get along with her teacher very much. Her teacher criticizes Atticus for teaching her how to read and do other things incorrectly. And Scout gets very much offended by this. Now, in the teacher's defense, she was quite new to education, so she had these ideas that she was taught in university as to what was proper education. So they spend a lot of time in the first few chapters introducing us to Scout and her first few years in school. And my question, or what I'd like to talk with the students about, is how is education presented? What message is being conveyed? So that is one discussion forum. The next one is analyze Atticus's statement toward the end of chapter 3. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. And then finally, why does being called a girl bother Scout so much? What are her views on what it means to be female? So those are the 3 things that I want to discuss with the students in the first discussion forum. And now notice I said that they are to participate in each of the 3 discussion strands. So like, for example, this one right here is going to be my first discussion strand. So I'm going to copy that. I just hit Control C, and I'm going to click here, add a new discussion topic. And I'm going to hit Control V because that is going to be my first discussion topic. And then here I have to write something in this part. What are your thoughts? ... Okay. And I'm going to click here Mail Now, because then whoever's enrolled in my course, this will be emailed to them. And I'm going to click Post to Forum. And it said this post will be mailed out immediately to all forum subscribers. And then you can see there that that discussion strand has been posted. Now perhaps I'm going to add the next one right away for some of my more faster workers. And I'm going to take this one here and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do Control C and copy that and Control V in the subject bar. And what are your thoughts? Dot, dot, dot. And click Post to Forum. Oops, I forgot to click Mail now, but that's okay. And it's there. And then maybe I'm going to post this one too, because I have really fast workers who want to participate in all three discussions right away. I'm going to click Control V. And what are your thoughts? I'm going to type right there, dot, dot, dot. I remembered to hit mail now, right now, and then post to forum. Okay. And essentially there I have initiated this discussion. So I can go back to my page and scroll down. And that forum is right there. Okay. If I wanted to make a new forum, I could click here, add an activity. And there's the forum option. And this is what I was talking about before. Like if you don't know what a forum is or different types, you can read all of this and learn about the different types. If it still doesn't make sense to you, you click on more help and it will explain further the different possibilities with the forum. Down here is the add button, so I'm going to click add. And I'm going to come up with a new forum title. Maybe I'll call it characterization. Okay. Oops, I spelled it wrong there. And I'm going to take that. I'm going to copy it right there. And I'm going to maybe make it bold. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I want to do this at the end. Which character in the story had the most redeeming values? Okay, maybe I want to, and the least. So which character do we believe to be the most virtuous? Maybe which character was the least? Okay, maybe that's my forum. Now you can let them attach stuff. Okay, like here it's set for 9 attachments. I might just have it be 1. You can grade them on it. You could type in an amount here for a grade to pass if you want. You can have them rate each other in their forums. So maybe you could encourage them. Part of their rule is to rate, and maybe it's on a scale of 5. So you could play around with these different choices too, and I'm going to hit save and return. And then you'll see that that new form that I created was right there. So if I click on it, you can see what it looks like from the student's perspective. It's a little slow right now. And essentially when it gets there, everything that we just got done typing in that forum will pop up about characterization. Who's there? Which character do they think was the most virtuous or the most redeeming values, which was the least? And the great thing about a forum is it will allow for debate between students. So you could imitate a debate online, similar to one that you might have in your classroom, related to that discussion topic that you just created. The screen went blank because it's working on popping up that activity that we just created. So I hope that was helpful. That's the forum. And hopefully you play around with this and perhaps maybe figure out a way how it could be applied to your course.